Hello Pisces, welcome to your September 2024 reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope all is well in your world today. Don't forget this is for you if you are Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising, or if you've just come across the reading and you fancy it and it resonates with you, then great, you can take that as well. And don't forget it's a general reading, so it's for everybody, so it will mean something different to everybody. So just take what you need, what you can from it, and leave behind what you don't. So I'm shuffling away here because I've got the Colette Baron Reid Spirit Animal Oracle cards. They're beautiful, they're really gorgeous artwork, and I'm going to use them to find your general energy, your general theme of today's reading. It may be that, these, if the cards don't tie together, that they could just be little bits of advice or guidance for you for the month of September. So we'll see what they've got to say, and then we'll go into the Rider-Waite deck and, go a little bit deeper. So, Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. We've got the Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. And we have the Panther Spirit, reclaim your power, Pisces. Okay, so nothing is wasted. I actually, when that popped out, I felt time. So I think this month it's all important to not waste your time, to try and manage your time maybe a little bit better. Find ways to, be more efficient with your time. Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. Maybe that's something that, you have not been good at in the past, your time management, or maybe there's a lesson to pop up for you, for some of you during the month of September that's requiring a little bit of learning, maybe something that you've missed in the past and you've not learned from. And then this month I think is all about you reclaiming your power, about you're bringing your power back home where it belongs, instead of maybe you've been giving it away in the past, or not saving it, not looking after it. All about bringing your power back to you. You're back in control, you're back in charge. So right, I've got this Rider-Waite deck here. I'm going to find some recent past energy, so that could be as recent past as this morning, or last night, or last week, or the last few weeks. So let's find some cards for you. Strength card, 9 of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, so Pisces, the Strength card is all about taming. Well, it's about having strength. It's about having inner strength. But for me, I look at this card. She's there. Are we going to find some focus today? Maybe not. Anyway, she's taming the lion, and the lion is her inner world, or her inner world. That negative place within us that we can, we give ourselves negative self-talk. We tell ourselves how rubbish we are, how, that inner voice that's within us. That's the word I'm looking for. And so she's beginning to tame that lion, to find inner strength, to find more strength within her, because she's learning not to listen, or to take more control of that inner voice that's being quite negative within her. And we've got the 9 of Swords, which is it's like an ever-waking nightmare. So it's the things that cause you stress, that cause you anxiety, the things that keep you awake at night, the things that wake you up, you think of first thing in the morning. And we've got the Devil card, and that is the things that don't serve us. That's that shadow side of ourselves that is filled with all those negative and lower vibrational emotions and behaviours. So that could be things like coping mechanism of drinking too much alcohol, or partaking in drugs, or gambling, you know, as a coping mechanism, or shopping as a coping mechanism. It can also be negative self-talk and negative behaviours. So I think in your recent past, you have begun to tame your inner lion, your inner voice, that place in you that, you know, can sort of drag you down into this lower vibrational emotional place, and is helping you to deal with any stress or anxiety that you've got going on, and you're really fighting against it. I'm looking at Reclaim Your Power. I've got the panther, so another cat there. And I think that's what you've been trying to do in the recent past. You know, it's hard. I think you still got some stresses and anxieties, and you're still tempted to fall into that low vibrational way of being. But you are beginning to find your inner strength, to find, you know, to tame that lion, to find a way to deal with calming that negative self-talk, that negative inner world. We've got the Five of Pentacles as a clarifier. We've got the Eight of Wands, and we've got the Four of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles speaks of focusing on too much on your weaknesses and not on your strengths. And, you know, I think maybe that is easy to do when you've got a lot of stress and when you're feeling quite down and you are in those lower vibrational emotions. It's very easy to look at what you've not got rather than what you have. And so we've got the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Wands there, and that's that swift movement, swift action. So whether that is, you know, you sort of beginning to all of a sudden feel like you're starting to take control of, you know, the strength card, you're starting to tame that lion, and it's happened just really quickly, all of a sudden, and you're starting to feel, you know, like you're feeling more in control and like you are actually starting to win the battle of reclaiming your power. We've got the Four of Pentacles there, and that's not holding on to something too tightly. So that could well be you holding on to the old ways of things that you've been doing, you know, that you've used to cope with things, or it could be, you know, just generally holding on to those past thoughts and emotions that you've, you know, rather than letting them go a little bit more. I'm just going to get a few more cards to clarify that. Let's have two more cards for Pisces to clarify that Four of Pentacles. Oh, it's given me two. So we've got the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is all about you beginning to see things clearly. But the Four of Cups is about you being discontented and dissatisfied with what's happening. So, you know, I think maybe you've had a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of an inner battle in the recent past, where you've not been satisfied, or you're not been happy with the way you know that you perceive things to be going. You know, you're trying really hard to get out of that low vibrational state of you know, those lower emotions, and you're really fighting and battling to keep going and to keep, you know, reclaiming your power and keep being positive. But I think maybe it's been quite a little bit of a struggle, and you know, it's easy to cling on to the old ways of thinking, the old ways of being, rather than you know, pushing through and realizing that you're doing pretty amazingly, and you know that you're on the right path and you're doing fantastic, and just to keep going. And just being drawn to the elephant spirit, learn from the past. So, you know, things in the past may not have been, you know, sort of may have reflected what's going on in your recent past, and you know, maybe you have to think, was that a good thing? you know, the way that I behaved, or the way that I thought, or the way that I conducted myself, or the way that, you know, I lived my life in the past, you know, relating to this sort of area, was that a good thing? Or could, you know, is there ways that, does that no longer serve me? Can I move on and find a different way of being, a different way of thinking, a different way of getting through the day, a different way of moving forward? So it's always good to sort of have a little look at what's gone on in the past, and it's always good to see how far you've come from that place. It's also good to have a reminder of why we don't do, you know, we don't behave in a certain way anymore, or we don't think in a certain way anymore, because, you know, it didn't really serve us then, and it certainly doesn't serve us now. So let's find some current energy for you, Pisces. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the King of Wands, and we've got the King of Swords. We've got the Fool, Temperance, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so your current energy, you're being offered an opportunity. Something's going to come in, and the Page of Pentacles is going to bring it, and is going to give you this opportunity for something tangible that's going to help you move forwards in whatever way you wish to, however, whatever area of life this reflects for you. And so he's going to bring you this opportunity. It may come in the form of an email, it may come in the form of a letter, a friend may give it to you, but it's something that's going to really help you to move forward. We've got the King of Wands, and he is the card of action. He's the king of action. He's not afraid to make changes. He's not afraid to move forward. He usually is very confident about where he wants to go, how he's going to get there, and why he wants to get there, and, you know, what's going to happen when he gets there. He's, you know, he's all powerful in making changes and moving forward. And so I think that's your current energy at the moment. I think you're feeling probably quite confident, the fact that you know you want to make change, you know you want to move forward, you really, you know, working towards that. The King of Swords, he's very knowledgeable, he's very smart, and I think, you know, the connection of those two cards is a real powerhouse, because, you know, the King of Swords, using his intellect, his knowledge, everything that he's got going on within his head, that he's collected all of his wisdom over the years, and he's using that to be analytical, to be decisive, and he's working with the energy of the King of Wands, that really powerful moving on action, moving on energy, that action energy, to really move forward. So hopefully at the moment you're really starting to see a shift in your energy, the way that you're moving forward, and you're actually starting to see the woods for the trees. We've got the Fool, which is, you know, you setting off on a brand new journey, you setting off in a new direction, off on a new adventure. You know, sort of being quite excited, and not exactly sure where you're heading or you know, where you're going, but you're still feeling that positive feeling of moving forward. So, you know, that exciting energy of when, you know, when you go on a holiday and you've not got anything planned, so, you know, anything could happen. I think that is the energy of the Fool for you at the moment. Obviously, you've got a plan of action, you're working towards moving on, but you're going into it with this carefree, free-spirited feeling, because, you know, you're actually starting to feel like things are moving forward in the right way at last. We've got Temperance, and she's very grounded, she's very connected to the earth, she's very connected to her higher self, and she uses that energy to she's like an alchemist, so she uses that energy to turn nothing into something. So she's creative energy to create something, and, you know, that is how you're moving forward. You're starting this creation of a new adventure, a new life for yourself, going off in whatever direction you please, whatever is relevant to you. But she's doing that in a really grounded way. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, and she is the Queen of manifestation, of drawing all the abundance towards her. She's really positive. She's high vibrational. She's, she knows that by staying in that high vibrational state, she is attracting all the good things towards her. So let's find 3 cards for your future energy, Pisces, to see what's going on in the future. Okay, the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, the Page of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the 6 of Cups. I'm going to have one more, the Emperor. Okay, so in your future energy, you are really starting to take those tentative steps forward. It's actually happening. The changes that you are wishing to make, you're starting to put them into action. And we've got the Chariot, and he is about moving towards your destiny. It's a card of movement. It's a card of you going towards the place that you are meant to be going, to find that place of alignment. I've said this in most of the readings, but I think September for a lot of people is a pivotal month. It's where we repositioning ourselves. We're repositioning ourselves to set us off on the right path, on the right direction towards where we need to be for the coming next few years, because I think there's going to be a lot of, astrologically speaking, there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of potentially difficulty over the next few years. And I think we have all got the option to really redirect ourselves and set ourselves on the right path so that we're in the best position possible for whatever's coming towards us over the next few years. And so the Chariot, I think, is taking you there. You're starting to take action, you're starting to move forward, and the Chariot is helping you to find that direction, keep that direction, and move yourself forward. He's very connected to the universe, to his higher self, and he knows that if he puts his trust in the universe, that it will send him on the right path, in the right direction towards his place of alignment, his destiny, the place he's meant to be. And we've got the Page of Cups, and that, I feel like, that's you, Pisces, isn't it? And I think, it may feel quite emotional, but I think it's going to be small emotions. I don't think it's going to be highly emotional time for you in the coming month. I think that just that movement, that's beginning to shift, may sort of, untether you a little bit and make you feel like you're feeling quite emotional about the change and the movement, I think. But it's not going to be too dramatic. I think you're just going to go with the flow, and just, use that grounding energy of temperance to keep your feet on the ground, because it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to feel those things, but, just don't wallow in them too much. Don't sit in and stay in that energy too much. It's good to let them flow through us, wash over us, but sort of staying static within that energy, it will always sort of keep you held back and create a blockage in you moving forward. We've got the 5 of Swords, and that is the card of holding on to things maybe that you shouldn't do, maybe things that have been said, disagreements that you've had with people, and clinging on to them too long. In this card, this man here in the 5 of Swords, he's had a disagreement, a fight with, 4 other people, and everyone else has dropped the swords and walked away. He's come out of it victorious, but he's still holding on to his swords. He's not letting it go. If you have a disagreement, or you've had a disagreement with somebody about something in the past, just let it go. You know, it's only, you know, if everyone else has just walked away from the situation, there's only you that you're harming by clinging on to things. We've got the Knight of Swords, and he is, you know, the fastest knight. He's going into battle there with his sword held high. He's going at speed, but he's also going in the past. So I think maybe those two came out sort of together and were on top of each other, and I think they're both intertwined. Don't let something that's gone on in the past affect how you move forward in the future. Don't get dragged into drama, especially past drama. Actually, we've got the Six of Cups there, and that's a card of nostalgia, of family, of, you know, the past. So I think those three have all come out as your clarifying cards, and I think you will be able to really shove yourself forward this month, before the end of this month, Pisces. The key is to not let the past hold you back. Don't hold on to past pains, past emotions that, you know, don't do you any good. Past arguments, past disagreements. Let them go. Let them go, and when you can let them go, then that will free you up to move forward in a really strong and powerful way, because we've got the Emperor card here, and harping back to reclaiming your power. If you let all of these things drop, you are reclaiming your power, and you're putting yourself in a really powerful position to move into the next couple of years. Okay. Right, 3 cards, Pisces, for the month of September. Some guidance and advice for the month of September. Let's see what we got here, what we got left in this deck for you. Okay, we've got the 7 of Cups, we've got the Tower card, and we've got the 5 of Cups. Okay. So the 7 of Cups is all about you having choices, and you know, making them. The thing is with the choices that we have to make, or the cups that are being offered to you in this card, is some of them might be good, some of them might be bad, but you've just got to pick one and just go with it. Because do you know what? Sometimes things that turn out that you think are going to be really bad can sometimes turn out really good. And sometimes that you think is going to be really bad, good, turn out really bad. So I think sometimes we've just got to go with something, use our intuition, and, you know, a little bit of intuition in our head, and just make a choice and move with it. And so I think that's the advice for you in this. I think you just got to keep moving forward. Try not to get in that state of anxiety, you know, that you've been in the past. That's a real state of anxiety where you've had to battle your inner world, and it's created stagnation and blockages, not helping you to move forward. You've got to just try keep moving forward, making choices, not overanalyzing the choices, just making them by connecting with your intuition. We've got the Tower card here as our help and advice, and I think that is telling you that you need to be open to maybe shifting the way that you're thinking, to maybe having an epiphany and looking at things in a completely different way. Because of, you know, environmental situations. There may be a situation during this month where it's really, you know, something's happened, it's made you really, really think about something in a completely different way, in a whole new positive way. And I think that is, you know, be open to that, be open to change. You know, I think some people can be really fixed in their thinking, can't they? You know, I think it's okay for us to change our mind on some things. It's okay for us to start thinking about something in a different way. There's no shame in that. There's no, you know, no guilt in that. No, you know, no shame. You know, it's okay for us to start looking at things in a different direction, in a different way. So be open to that during this month. And the 5 of Cups is a card of loss, a card of grief. But, you know, he's looking at the 3 cups that have fallen over here in front of him. He's feeling really sad. He's grieving these 3 cups that have fallen over. But what he's not doing, he's not looking behind him. He's got 2 cups that are still upright. And so I think for you this month, you need to, if something maybe doesn't go the way that you'd hoped, the way that you'd planned, and you feel like you've lost out, or, you know, it's not what you wanted, and it's not turned out the way that you wanted, I think good advice is to just take a step back and look at the other things that you've actually got going for you, and you might actually realise that the thing that you weren't noticing is the thing that you really needed to help you to move forward and get you on that right path, your path of destiny, the Chariot. You know, that might be the thing that's going to take you on that journey. So, you know, be open to things, let the energy flow, and yeah, have a great month, Pisces. I'd love to know how this resonated with you, if at all. Please put a comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And also, if you liked the video, please subscribe. It just helps the channel to grow, and it helps you to get to see my next videos. So have a really fabulous month, and I will see you again very soon.